happened to that student loan forgiveness program thing? Is it still happening? I'm glad you asked, because we are less than 2 weeks away from some real action. But something President Biden just did may undermine the entire student loan forgiveness program. So here's what's going on. The Supreme Court will hear 2 cases this month to determine whether the president's federal student loan forgiveness program is legal. I have videos about both of those cases, Biden versus Nebraska and Department of Education versus Brown. One case is being brought by 6 GOP-led states who say President Biden usurped the power of Congress by setting up and creating this program all on his own. And the other case is brought by real student loan borrowers who say because they only qualify for $10,000 of federal student loan forgiveness instead of $20,000, the program isn't fair. President Biden and the Justice Department have said from the beginning, the President and the Department of Education have the right to create and implement the federal student loan forgiveness program using the emergency powers given to them from the HEROES Act of 2003. That law was passed in the wake of another national emergency, the September 11th attack. It says the Secretary of Education has the authority to reduce or eliminate the obligation to repay the principal balance of federal student loan debt during a period of time like war, military operation, or national emergency. The President and the Justice Department say because COVID-19 has been a declared national emergency since 2020, the President and the Education Secretary have every right to partially forgive federal student loans under the HEROES Act. Now, here's what may throw a wrench into this entire argument. The President just announced a few weeks ago that the national emergency for COVID-19 will end on May 11th. So if the emergency is over, is the program still legal? The White House says absolutely, because the program is meant to address the harm caused to federal student loan borrowers over the course of the 2 years of the pandemic and the related economic disruptions that followed. We'll have to see whether the Supreme Court agrees with that argument or not, and all the other arguments on both sides of both of these cases. The justices will hear Biden versus Nebraska and Department of Education versus Brown on February 28th, though we're not expecting a ruling until probably June.